The girls that I fought were such incredible girls. A lot of times you can't actually hit each other, but they were down for it. They would hit me and I loved it.
You think you what makes the world turn. But one day you're gonna wake up and realize that it turns just fine without you.
Thank you all so much for being here, for sharing this wonderful film with us. David, I'm going to start with you as the co-writer on this movie and director. Talk about how you encountered Christy's story and where you wanted to make a movie in that.
Brad Zimmerman, who runs my company, came to me and said, how would you feel about making a movie about Christy Martin? I said, who's Christy Martin? He said, go and watch Laura Brownson's documentary on Netflix. I did that. It's really good. I didn't necessarily think that I had a boxing movie in me, but this one drew me in because I immediately found myself wanting to understand how those relationships work. You know, how can a woman as powerful and strong as Christy be trapped in a relationship like this for 20 years? That was the reason for me to make the film. So yeah. That's my origin story.
It's a good one. I think, Kerry, that there are two really pivotal figures in terms of involvement in this movie. One is, of course, Sydney Sweeney taking on this role, and the other is Christy herself, who was very involved and very present for the making of the movie. So can you talk, to start, a little bit about her own involvement and how she worked with you all in telling her story, given what David was saying just about how painful it ultimately is?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was the most important thing that we earned her trust. David and Mira researched this film immensely. Mira flew out to go spend time with Christy and Lisa and really got to bond with them. And we kept her up to date with every single part of the process. Casting Sid was what brought the glue all together. There was no one that could play this part other than Sydney Sweeney. And we're just truly grateful because you embody so much that Christy has, so much resilience, so much fight, and so much strength, and it truly just made the whole thing happen.
Sydney, I cannot imagine just the amount that went into playing Christy, but talk a little bit about, I mentioned the two broad aspects of it, one of which is the physical transformation we see, and the other is getting to know Christy as a person and wanting to honor that. So talk about those two elements.
For the physical transformation, I had about 2.5 months to train. I worked with Matt, the boxing coach, and Grant Roberts, my weight trainer and nutritionist, and we worked out every single day. I actually turned my grandma's shed into my boxing gym, and I built a floor ring, and I hung heavy bags, and I trained every single day, and I put on 35 pounds. I really, really found the importance of every single fight being an exact replica. So every combination that you see is the exact combinations from her real fights. We're going at it. Like, the girls that I fought were such incredible girls because a lot of times you can't actually hit each other, but they were down for it.
Yeah.
Like, they were so down for it, and they would hit me and I loved it.
Yeah.
It's true.
It was, but it made it so much easier because then we didn't have to have the camera in only specific spots. Like, we could actually live in it. With Christy, it was just getting to know her. I mean, I was really intimidated to meet her at first because you never know what you're gonna get. Is she gonna like me? Does she like this whole process? And you're also meeting a version of who this person is now and not who you're gonna meet on page.
And Katy, you also got to speak with the real Lisa, which she has a very different role in Christy's life now than she did where this film starts. So talk about that arc and how you found your way in.
I got a chance to talk to her before filming, and I was trying to like pry and see if there was anything between them, you know, early on in their training years, and she's like, no, hell no. There were rumors of gayness, but she refused to believe it and just wanted to take Christy kind of at her word. And she said when she was training with Christy, who was at this point so incredibly successful, she thought she would be maybe like a happy person. She's like, Christy Martin should be the happiest person alive. She's so successful. She's got everything she's wants. She's got money, but she seems so miserable. It's the words on the page. You know, she said that she wants to support Christy no matter what. That is how she felt her role was for this film. And that's exactly how her role is in the scripts. Someone that comes into Christy's life at first as an adversary, but then finding out that this is someone I need to support.
In terms of her level of presence, Carrie, I'll throw this to you. I'm sure she was having, a good time for a lot of it, but obviously you show some really, really harrowing stuff from that period in her life. So were there moments that it did get pretty intense for her, or what were those moments like?
For scheduling reasons, we shot all the Apopka house scenes the first week of shooting. Christy at that point really wanted to be on set as much as possible, but we kept her away from set that first week for rightful reasons, I think. And then we couldn't get rid of her after, and nor did we want to, because we loved having her around.
One of the special parts, though, because we did film all of the stuff between Christy and Jim in the house that first week, so the stabbing scene was on that Friday. That following Monday was the first day Christy came to set. And the entire crew, when she walked in, just started applauding her, like, for 10 minutes. The crew, they knew the story that we were telling, but I think once they saw and witnessed what Christy had gone through, they just were amazed by the woman that was standing in front of them.
David, can you talk a little bit about diving right in, starting there?
Yeah, it was when I found out that the schedule was going to demand that we shoot the most harrowing scene in the movie in the first few days, I wasn't happy. I thought about it for a minute and went, you know what, I think this might actually be good for us. Let's clear it off the slate so we don't have it looming over us. Let's get it done early so that for the rest of the shoot, we know where we're heading. What I didn't anticipate was that thing Sid was describing, which is that I think for all of us and the entire crew, it was really great to just set off going, this is what this woman endured. It's a really harrowing scene. And, on a certain level, when you've got professionals, you treat it, you knuckle down, you treat it like work. You just get the work done. You've got good-spirited people. Sid always keeps the set light, no matter how dark it is. But, I was nervous about doing it, and I was glad that it was done when it was done.
Yeah. So I'll throw my last question to you, Sydney. I'm just curious kind of how you felt as an actor coming out of this project. It requires so much of an actor and in so many ways. But there's a real piece, I think, at the end that we find Christine, and I'm curious how it felt for you coming out of it.
I'm so proud of it. This is a character that, as an actor, it's incredible to be able to sink your teeth into. There's so many different elements to it, and growth and pain and an emotion to be able to process throughout the entire journey. But then also having Christy, who is just a real life person who is incredible and aspirational, to be able to be a part of telling her story that's going to help others and save other people's lives. I think that's more meaningful than any project I could ever do. I'm going to walk away from this and I'll never forget it. I always say that I didn't really care about what everyone else thought. I just cared about what Christy thought. And if she was happy and proud of it, that's all that mattered to me. And she is, and she's just spreading it to the world, and I'm so proud to be able to be a part of sharing her story.
Well, thank you all so much for coming out tonight. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight.
Thank you.